when we think about going in and creating space, I like to start right at the base of the ribs, so right at the base of my thoracic spine. It's also going to be right where that QL, that quadratus lumborum, attaches, which often causes a lot of lower back pain. That's kind of where you feel it. So we're right in through here. I'm going to start just kind of rocking side to side, right at that insertion point of the QL against my T12. And then from there, if I can, I'll relax down. If it's too much arching through the back, then keep your elbows down for a little bit of support. You're going to widen out your feet and then start to rock your knees from side to side, putting a little bit pressure on one side of the QL a little bit more than the other. If you can come down, you'll do that. You'll breathe where there's resistance. Notice if one side's a little bit more fiery than the other. And then from there, you're going to move down so it starts to move up your back. And as you move centimeters up your back, I want you to imagine that you're actually getting more centimeters of length in through the vertebra of the spine. So I'm going to grab onto a kettlebell. I'm going to fully extend my elbows and root through my shoulders. And then I'm going to use this. I'm going to see if I can't keep my bicep in line with my ears while I play around with a little bit of bracing. So I'm going to fully extend my legs. Notice that my ribs are flaring out into the ceiling right now. I'm going to take an inhale. And on my exhale, I'm going to pull my ribs down and see if I can't create a braced core, so my core is super tight, and create this position. A lot of times what happens is people can't get their bicep in line with their ears when their core is tight, so they have to flare their ribs out. So can we create a better position against this knot out, practicing the positions we want to get good at? I'm right in through here, I take an inhale, and moving down another centimeter, inhale, and super tight core. And then once I start to get a little bit closer in between the scapula, right in between the shoulder blades, then I'm going to switch gears and turn it into glute bridges. It's still the same core activation, but my feet are directly underneath my knees, close to my butt. I inhale, lift the hips to the top of a glute bridge. And exhale. Bring my butt to the floor, but keep my core super tight. So it's not just this, right? It's using the core, pulling it down, and creating that extension, that space in through the back. I come down about a centimeter. Now I'm right in between the shoulder blades. I inhale, lift the hips. Exhale. Lowering with resistance. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And after that, you'll pause. You'll allow yourself just a small break, using the knot out as a pillow as it's right underneath your neck. From there, you'll rock your chin from side to side. You can allow a little bit of tension to be released in through the neck and in through the jaw. Kneading from side to side, flossing in through those occipital lobes. And then from there, we're going to work on the shoulder. And then from there, we're going to work on the side. So where we started last time, right in that QL, you're going to find now obliquely, so from the side. I'm to the bottom of the ribs. I'm not on the hip. I'm not on the ribs. I'm right in that open space. Okay, guys, it's in your muffin top. If that helps as a visual cue, you're in your muffin top. And then from there, you're going to rock side to side. As I lean back, I find my QL. If it's fiery, I might pause there and breathe. Inhaling. And then maybe exhaling and extending in through the leg and just seeing how flexion and movement affects the QL and through the backside. After you're here for about 30-45 seconds, then we're going to go up the lats. So as I'm here, I'm right on the lats, and I start to move down so it moves up my lats. I'm right in through here, rock side to side. We have to remember that our lat is this triangular slab of meat that attaches all the way to the base of the ribs. So when we want length through the lat, we gotta start right at the base of the rib and go all the way up from there in order to find maximum length. Eventually, it's going to make its way up to your armpit. That's just a cue for you. You're not literally on your armpit muscle. There's no such thing. But what you are on is your teres major and your teres minor. These are stabilizing rotator cuff muscles. They get pretty inflamed because oftentimes they're weak and overstretched, either from doing a lot of overhead work, from hanging from rigs, doing a lot of pull-ups, muscle-ups, gymnastic stuff, or everyday powerlifting things. Hell, you can even, 3, 2, 1. You can even inflame your rotator cuff just by improperly picking things up or reaching behind your car to grab onto something incorrectly. Once I find my teres major and my teres minor, I lean back into it, and then I want to practice internal and external rotation. That's what the rotator cuff is responsible for. So let's practice that movement. My elbow stays down, my hand comes up like it's waving to you, and then from there I find internal rotation. Can my palm reach the floor? Awesome. If it can do that, I find external rotation. Oh, my life just got a little bit more fiery as I find external rotation. I hang out in through there. I might even knead into it a little bit. Oh, that is gnarly. I make sure I breathe. I put a smile on my face, even if it's fake. And then I continue with a little bit more movement. Trying to find fluidity, noticing if anything kind of clicks. If it does, hang out there, see if you can't knead in through that tissue. And then from there, it lends itself really nicely to go down your tricep. I'm gonna grab my hand to the back of my head, and then from there, I just get all the way down to the base of my elbow. Working in through that tricep, and then come on up and just see how things both feel and look. I just did that for about 30-45 seconds. As I reach my arms up and overhead, you might find that my left shoulder can get my bicep in line with my ears a little bit more. You might also find that my left arm just got a little bit longer than my right? So I just was able to get a little bit more length, a little bit more stability, because now I can plug my scapula back into its socket. So the next time you press up over your head, try rolling out and through your lats and in through your rotator cuff. See if you can improve your positioning. So this kind of frees up a little bit of space in through this position right here. I grab onto a resistance band, and then I want to bring my hand right as if I'm putting on a bracelet. And then from there, I'm going to get resistance on the band, and then you just explore. You're going to explore all the dark corners of what it means to get your wrist in dorsiflexion. I roll over to the side. Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly nugget. I might even stretch in through there. Whew. And then rocking it on over and back, side to side. Should take you about a minute. And then after that, just counter that with a little bit of back of the palm down to the floor. And then as you extend in through your elbows, you're gonna get this pretty deep stretch in through your forearms. That should be pretty delicious after that. After that, you'll just test it out. I want you to bring yourself hands here and then try to split, and then notice, whoa, I can pull my wrist back a little bit more on this side than I can this side, because now I've freed up that space. Have fun.
Rock around. going to see you. Drop line.